Psychetruth. Life, wisdom.
Hi, I'm Catherine. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my 10-day flexibility challenge, and this is day 1, so I'm very excited. Please be sure to subscribe so you can be with me for all 10 days. Today's workout is just going to give you a really great base for everything moving forward, and as you advance to the next videos, you are welcome to always come back to video 1 and use it as a warm-up. Let's get started. Let's begin with a big breath in. Stretch your index fingers towards the sky, pulling your spine upward, but keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Take a few deep breaths here. On an inhale, pull up even higher. Exhale towards your right side. You want to think of pushing the right elbow forward and the left hip forward. Pulling that left arm with your right hand. Stretching your left side. Bring it back to the center. Again, on an inhale, stretch up and to the left. Right hip goes forward and left arm go forward. And bring it back up. And just let it all go forward. Bent knees here. Just relaxing your neck and your upper back, letting go of any excess tension. And on an exhale, roll it back up. And now we take our index fingers to the sky once more. Pull up. This time we go back. Look at your fingers. Follow your fingers toward the back wall. And the fingers bring us up. Let's do all of that again, starting with the side bend. Pull up, ears away from the shoulders, and bend to the right. Right elbow forward, left hip forward. Pulling that left arm away with your right hand. And bring it back up to the left. Right hip forward, left elbow forward, pulling the right arm with the left hand. Back to the center. Let it fall forward, bend the knees. Just relax the head, relax the neck and the shoulders. And on an exhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. Take it to our back bend. Index fingers pull up. And our gaze follows our fingers back to the back wall. Pushing your hips forward. Now we can warm up our spine with a little twist. So let's take a bent knee pose, feet together. Take your hands, palms together to your chest. Shoulders back, chest is nice and open. Take that right elbow to the outside of the left knee and push with that right elbow. Your gaze can go back towards the wall. We're just getting a little twist in our spine, lengthening and opening our chest. And bring it back up to the right. Left elbow goes to the right knee. Just breathe here. Careful to squeeze the legs together for extra balance. Gaze goes to the back. And return to center. Now we can stretch our hamstrings. Go ahead and face your right foot towards the side wall. Left foot goes to a 45-degree angle in the back. Think of pushing your right hip back as we fold over, keeping the hips square. Pull right by your calf. Pull that calf to your forehead. Your forehead should be touching your shin, or at least trying to. Just actively pulling. Your arm muscle should be contracting. And we push our hands onto our shin into a flat back pose, trying to create one long line from the top of our head to our tailbone, parallel to the floor. And we take a big breath in and pull your forehead to your shin once more. Always pulling that right hip back, trying to maintain those square hips. If you have a mirror and you look at yourself from the side and you see that this hip is starting to creep forward, you should really only see the one side here. And we can do the other side. Left toe points to the side wall, right foot is in a 45-degree angle. Bend here, left hip pulls back, and forehead to the shin. Just try to breathe through any discomfort you might be feeling in the stretch. Listen to your body. Don't push yourself beyond your limits, but feel free to push your limits. Actively pulling, and we push to our flat back. Nice long spine here. Shoulders away from the ears. You should really feel this in your left hamstring. And relax down once more, pulling the forehead to the shin. All right, now we're going to take it to a lunge. So back to our right side. Step that right toe out towards the side wall. Stack the knee over the heel. Make sure the heel doesn't go beyond a 90-degree angle. It should be really right on top of the heel. You don't want it further towards the toes. We stretch that left leg back, straight leg. Push the left hip forward. Get a real stretch in that left hip and quadriceps. Keep breathing. And now we can drop that left hip back, the left knee back. And we're just going to stretch over to the right, always pushing forward with that left hip. You should really feel this on your left side and in the front of your pelvis. Okay, let's go to the other side. Knee stacks over the heel, right hip goes down. Check in to make sure you're supporting your spine with your abdominal muscles, pulling the navel in. Keep breathing. Go ahead and drop that back knee. Right arm goes around, left hand goes to the hip. Feel a nice long side stretch. Now we can take it to standing, and we're just going to start with some squats. So go ahead and take your feet about hip width distance apart. Hands go out parallel to the floor like spears in front of you. And you really just want to sit back as deeply as you can while keeping your chest open. You should aim for keeping those arms and that chest up and parallel with the floor. Challenge yourself to see how low you can go while keeping your balance. So we're just really warming up the big muscles of our legs. It's going to make those flexibility stretches much easier. It's going to help us push it a little farther each time. Just a couple more here. Really reach your seat back so there's an invisible chair back there. One more. All right, let's take it to some side lunges. Let's get used to that side to side lateral movement. Really see if you can push off that side as you return to center. Push off, center. Next, we're going to be working on our balance. It's going to challenge that one leg stability that you're going to need when posing in scorpion. When your other foot is in the air, you're going to need your standing leg to be strong and stable. So let's take it to center. We're going to do a little series here. Pick your foot up, just glide it along the inside of your leg, return it to center. We go forward and return. Again, glide up the side of your leg, center, to the side, and return. Glide up the center of your leg, back, pelvis stays forward, resist the urge to arch your lower back there. Bring it back to center and return. Let's get the hang of it on the left side. So we slide the left foot up the knee, return to this floor here, go out forward, return to center, slide up the side of the knee, return to center, to the side, to the center, up the knee, to the back, pelvis forward, up the side, and out to the side. And we're going to do this a few more times. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit, and you might notice that the standing leg is actually the one working a little bit harder, but it's different for everybody. So we're going to start with that right leg series, and we're just going to do it fast. We'll slow it down, and then we're going to do it with no down time. So we're going to go up, forward, in, side, in, back, in, side. Go ahead and get the hang of that. Up, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Take it back to the right leg. Go ahead and slide it up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down, up, back, in, down. See how far you can bring your knee up towards your chest and how high you can get that working leg. Up, side, in, down. You might feel like your ankles are being challenged. All right, go ahead and let that go. And now we're going to move on to our standing balance series. This is going to strengthen that standing leg when you're standing in your scorpion and your other foot is up in the air. You're going to want a nice strong base of support. So just follow along with me here. Bring the toe to the knee. We're just going to slowly extend, keeping that left leg straight. And bring the toe back to the knee. Go out to the side. Keeping the toes facing forward. Bring it back into the knee. And we'll reach back. Be careful not to let your lower back arch. You want to keep that pelvis as rotated forward as possible, or neutral. We want to keep it neutral. Bring it back to center. Go back out to the side. Bring it back center and relax. Let's go to the other side. Slow lift to the knee. Slow extension out. Right leg is straight. Bring it back into the knee. Out to the side. Toes face forward. Bring the knee in to the back. Keep the pelvis neutral. Pull up from your abdomen. Bring it in to the side. Let's do that once more. You might notice that your standing leg is working just as hard as your working leg. Extend out. Bring it in to the side. Bring it in to the back. Point the toe. Pull up from your abs to the center. And back to the side. Relax. Left side. Left foot goes up slowly. Keep breathing as you extend. Bring it back in to the side. Bring it in to the back. Bring it in. Last time to the side. All right, go ahead and let that go. We're going to take it to the floor next and warm up our spine even further. So we're going to be working on your spinal mobility. This is going to be really important when attempting your back bend walkover and especially your scorpion. So let's take it to all fours. We're just going to do some cat back bends. So on an exhale, you're going to draw your belly button in and tuck the pelvis, really curving your spine upward. And on the inhale, reverse the spine direction. Look up, tailbone goes up to the sky. Exhale, tuck the pelvis. Inhale up. Now on this inhale, try to think of bending just as much from the upper back as the lower back. Sometimes we tend to overextend the lower back here. Exhale it down. Push the floor away with your hands. Inhale. And one more exhale. So now we're going to take that idea of having a long, limber spine to these next exercises, which are going to focus more on your hamstrings and your glutes. So we're going to take it to all fours. Hands right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And we're just going to extend our toes outward so that the big toe is gently touching the ground. We're going to push the floor away. Make sure those shoulders don't creep up to your ears. We're just going to lift our straight legs back and up. Now it's very tempting to want to open up the hip here as so, but it's more effective to keep it parallel. So you might not go as high, but this is stretching the front of our left hip. The front of our hips are somewhere that a lot of people have challenges with. Just because of our daily lives, those areas get a little bit tighter. They're a little bit harder to undo. So we're really just trying to reverse that tension. So we're just doing slow leg lifts, and we're really trying to keep our pelvis and our lower back neutral as we do this movement. So again, we don't want to twist out or lower our lower backs. We keep our navel strong as we lift and lower. And you might find that it's pretty difficult to keep that back leg straight. You might really want to bend it. But it's important that we get used to using our muscle when it's in a stretched position, because that's really the challenge of doing all of those difficult poses, the back bend walkover, the splits, and the scorpion. So I am definitely starting to feel a burn here. Just keep focusing on working correctly, keeping that pelvis neutral, stabilizing your spine by contracting your abdomen. Let's just do 5 more here with the straight leg, pointed toe. Keep pushing the floor away with your right knee. Make sure you don't sink into that hip. let that go. I'm gonna go to the other side. Let's go ahead and reset yourself. Hands under your shoulders. Extend that right leg back. Knee to the floor, toes pointed. And we lift and lower. Careful not to flare out the hip to the side. True parallel. Knee always stays facing the floor. I always contract my abdomen extra on the upward part of the movement because that's when my lower back is going to be tempted to sink. Just keep breathing. Feel that stretch in your hamstring behind your knee. You might feel your calf working to raise your leg, but mostly you'll probably feel it right above the knee and right in the middle of your hamstring. Again, working to keep that supporting knee, that left knee, pushing the floor away, and making sure you don't sink into that left hip. All right, 5 more on this side. Lift, lower, stable pelvis. 1 more, and relax. We're going to do something very similar, but this time we can bend our knees. Now we just did that series with a pointed toe. We're going to do this one with a flexed heel. So we're going to go back to our all fours position. Situate your hands right under your shoulders. Extend the left leg back again. This time, bend the knee. Bring it to sort of a tabletop position. The thighs should be parallel to the floor. Foot is flexed, and we're just going to stamp through our heel. Now this motion is going to feel very small if you're doing it correctly. This isn't about kicking. This is about squeezing that muscle right under your seat. The movement should be very small. You should just feel like you're stamping the ground lightly with your heel. Same principles apply as far as keeping your pelvis level, not opening the hip up. This is really going to help with our scorpion, especially because when we have that leg in the air, we do need flexibility in the front of our thigh, but we also need our hamstrings to help us lift the leg that high. So keep stamping, keep pushing that floor away with the right knee, and check in to make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up to your ears. All right, 2 more here. And let it go. And don't worry, we'll be able to stretch those glutes right after we finish the right side. So let's keep our hands under our shoulders, reset the knees under the pelvis, extend the right toe outward, lift the leg into a 90-degree position, foot is flexed. We're just going to stamp through our heel. Really small movements. Feeling that muscle right under your seat working. I think sometimes the smaller you work with this movement, the easier it is to feel that burn quicker, to really know where the muscle should be working. Again, take care not to open up the hip. Take care not to sink into that left hip. And focus on keeping a nice neutral pelvis supported by your abs. Just a light stamp on your heel. Stamp the envelope. Just a gentle push and squeeze each time. And just a couple more here. And let it go. All right, I think we've deserved a nice glute stretch. So let's go back onto our backs and do a lying floor stretch. All right, now we're just gonna gently relax our right thigh out. Just place the right heel on the left knee. I'm gonna pull that left thigh towards our chest. And when you do this, again, try not to put your shoulders too close to your ears. Try to get both shoulder blades and even both shoulders on the ground. You should feel a nice stretch in that right glute. Just take a deep breath here, and when you're ready, go to the other side. Just pull on that right thigh. And if you want, you can push that knee out a little bit. Get an even deeper stretch. Just push it with your left hand if you're stretching the left leg. All right. And now we're going to just work our upper body. That's something we're definitely going to need strengthen when we attempt our back bend walkover. We're going to need stability in our shoulders, strength in our arms to support our body weight to push out of that back bend. So let's start with some good old-fashioned push-ups. So now we're going to start going into our upper body series. This is really important for getting that back bend walkover especially. You're going to need strength and stability in your shoulders, strength in your arms, stability in your wrists, as well as the ability to access your upper back muscles, which a lot of people have a hard time activating at first. So we're just going to start with regular push-ups. If you want, you can start with a modified version, knees together, helping to support your weight. You can do it the traditional way, which is in a full plank, knees are up and feet are together. Or my favorite is an intermediate version, which is a star push-up. So we have our hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. And the wider you put your feet, the easier it's going to be to stabilize. So the wider it is, the easier the push-ups are going to be. So we're just going to do 8 from this position. Nice strong core. Your heels to head should be one long line. So here we go. 8 push-ups. Down and up. If you find that your shoulders start to creep toward your ears or that your lower back starts to sink to the ground, you can always modify it to that easier version. That's no problem. You just really want to focus on keeping that long line from the top of your head to your knees. And we can roll up from that. So it's possible that those push-ups, you really felt those in your shoulders and your arms, but maybe you didn't feel your upper back as much. So now we're just going to try and isolate that upper back area so you can really get used to using those muscles. So we're just going to take it to the stomach. Just slide down nice and easy. We're going to place our hands in 90-degree angles. Elbows are out to the sides. If you can, just rest your chin on your mat. On an inhale, we're going to lift our upper bodies back and up. So you want to think of the motion coming from the space between your shoulder blades, not so much the lower back. So start with a deep breath out, exhale out. And on the inhale, go ahead and rise up. And let it go. When you rise up, go ahead and take your gaze just slightly above eye level. Just helps you remember to keep your neck long just as part of a spine. It's just an extension of your spine. So we'll do that once more. This time focus on pressing the tops of your feet into the floor. Exhale, inhale up. And release. This time we're going to pick up the pace. So breathing is the same. We exhale as a preparation. Inhale on the way up. But this time we're going to go a little faster. So exhale, up, down, up, down, down. Always pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Hold the next one. Push the feet into the floor. And see if you can rise up just a little higher. For 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now we're going to take the same idea. This time we're going to extend our arms in front of us as though we're doing a handstand. Where we're going to want all these shoulder muscles and upper back muscles activated. In addition to putting our hands out in front of us, we're going to swim our legs behind us. So it's going to challenge us to use our backs while we use our legs. It's going to help our coordination. So let's take it back down to the mat. Hands are in a V, palms are down, feet are together. Press the hips into the floor. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, swim. Raise it up. And back down. Keep the feet swimming. Exhale. Breathe in. Raise it up. And back down. 3 more, just like this. Exhale. Inhale up. And down. Exhale. Keep kicking with straight legs. Inhale up. Hold it here. For 3, 2, push it, 1, and relax. Now we're going to move to our classic plank position. This is a position that's going to be built upon in the next videos in this series. So this is just going to advance from here. So we're just going to get the basic version today. Elbows are parallel, right under the shoulders. Feet go out behind you, onto your toes. Pelvis goes down. Abdomen stabilizes the lower spine. And you can just look out a few inches in front of your fingers. And you might already feel your core activating to keep you straight and stable. And I also want you to focus on pushing the floor away with your elbows so we don't sink into our upper backs, and so we can also get used to supporting ourselves there with our shoulders. This is the stability you're going to need in those back bend walkovers. And we're just going to hold it here for 20 more seconds. For 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now to wrap this up, I just want to take you through a couple more stretches to both mentally and physically prepare you for the next video. So this is going to warm you up for your splits. Just come to a kneeling position. Stick your right foot out in front of you, foot flexed. Keep the hips square, try not to twist either way. And we're just going to fold over, leading with our chest toward the knee. Drive that left hip forward a little bit and always keep pulling that right hip back in its socket, that right femur bone. Deep breath and just go a little bit deeper. And bring it back in. Switch legs. Left foot goes out. Heel extends. Check to make sure the hips are nice and even. Lead with the chest. And we go over. Just smile knowing that you've made it through today. One deep breath in. And go a little bit deeper. And go ahead and bring it back in. So your final challenge for today is going to be Camel Pose. So you're going to set your hips right over your knees. You're going to grab your heels with your thumb facing outward. You're going to pull your heels, and that action of pulling is going to pull your upper back towards the back wall, and you're just going to follow your gaze as though you're trying to look at the floor behind you. Make sure you keep pulling and driving your hips forward. That'll help keep your back safe. So here we go. Grab those heels, thumbs facing outward, and we pull, driving the hips forward. Just try to breathe here. You might get a little dizzy the first time you try this. That's okay. And whenever you're ready, just roll up. All right, well, that concludes day one. Thank you so much for watching and doing this workout with me. I'm really excited about the challenges ahead. Please subscribe if you'd like to stay with me for these next 9 days to complete this 10-day challenge. I would love to know, again, what your goals are for doing this program. If you're most excited about the back bend, the scorpion, the splits, I would love to know because I want to make videos that help you guys. So let me know, leave me a comment, and have a great day. We'll see you on day 2.